There's a lot of talk right now about immigration.
For migration to and from the UK.
What's going on with migration?
Migrants arriving via small boat.
We will stop the boats.
But why is it public concern number one when overall numbers of people coming into the UK are, believe it or not, coming down? Well, let's have a look at what the facts actually are. This is the proportion of people who've come here on approved visas in regular legal ways. And this is the number of people who have come seeking asylum. The vast majority of migration comes from these regular legal routes. When the first lockdown happened in early to mid 2020, it sparked a sudden spike in unemployment, with jobs in large parts of the economy going unfilled. At the same time, the country had cut itself off from a plentiful supply of European labour. The Prime Minister, who was Boris Johnson at the time, responded by opening the gates, and quickly.
As the economy recovered, everybody was completely panic-stricken about the shortage of workers in literally every field of employment. We had no lorry drivers, we had no people to stack the shelves.
The government made it much easier for companies to bring in workers from abroad, often from India or sub-Saharan Africa. This was what Nigel Farage likes to call
It's the Boris wave.
This Boris wave is now on the decline, in part because of changes enacted by his successor, Rishi Sunak, who made it much harder for foreign workers to bring their families with them.
I want to bring the levels of legal migration down.
Even though net migration is now falling back down to trend levels, concern about it has rocketed. So why? The answer lies in the number of people coming to the UK not for work, but because they're fleeing war or persecution elsewhere. Some of those are British nationals fleeing Hong Kong. Some come from Ukraine or Afghanistan. But for people fleeing any other part of the world, there is no safe and legal route to enter the UK. So these people instead claim asylum either after they arrive here on another visa or having travelled here irregularly, most commonly on a small boat across the channel. And this is the number that matters, at least as far as public perception is concerned. This is the number of people arriving on small boats. It is a small proportion of the number of overall immigrants, but unlike other forms of migration, it is rising. And worse for the Labour government, these people are very visible. Whereas once asylum seekers might have entered Britain in the back of a lorry coming through the Channel Tunnel, stricter controls at ports now mean they're much more likely to do so in rubber dinghies across the sea, and in full view of television cameras. Protests outside asylum hotels, where many of these arrivals are housed, has given extra visibility to this group of people. It's worth pointing out here that they don't actually cost us that much money. Although the government is now spending around £2 billion a year on asylum hotels, that's a relatively small amount compared to the overall levels of government expenditure. And it's also worth pointing out that asylum seekers cannot claim benefits. They have no recourse to public funds. Efforts to tackle legal migration do not seem to be answering public concern about the issue. Maybe only an end to the television pictures showing people arriving across the sea will actually do that.